Welcome to Interviews, hosted by Randy Goodman, Harvey Callis Real Estate, your real estate professional. Get to know our community, our businesses, products, and services that will elevate your life. Please welcome your hostess, Randy Goodman.
Hey everybody, it's Randy Goodman here from Harvey Callis Real Estate, and I am super excited to be speaking with Jeannette Hay, who is an Overwhelm coach and an author, and I've known her for a long time. So thank you, Jeannette, for being here.
Well, thank you very much for inviting me.
Well, I look forward to really sharing with everybody what you do and all about you. So please tell us, what is it that you do?
Well, I'm an author of a book called Getting Out From Under, How to Break Free from Stress and Overwhelm, to get basically the things that you've always wanted. But I've been a professional organizer for over 14 years. So I've been a busy girl.
Yes. Okay, so I know you love helping people. Can you tell us, going back a couple of years, is this something that you always thought you would do? Like let's go back to, say, when you left school. Is this something
gosh, no. Not at all. I have basically all my life I've been searching for something that I really want to do that will help others and will match with me in integrity.
Right.
And I've always been a natural leader. It's something that I struggled with for years because people would come up and tell me things and I didn't even know this person and they were telling me intimate stories.
Right.
But it was one of those things that if I would join a club or something like that, the next thing I know, I'd be leading the club. And I struggled with that. I rejected that for years, even though it just kept coming to me.
Right.
But everyone would say, well, what do you want to do when you grow up? And I absolutely loathed that question because I'm multi-talented. I'm an artist. I'm an executive. I'm a volunteer. I do all these things. Don't ask me that question. It's, very narrowing. So for years, I've done so many different types of jobs. And I never heard of professional organizing. So when I started helping people and was forever helping them with organizing their receipts or their houses or whatever, they would say, oh, you should be a professional organizer. And I go, yeah, fine. I thought they were joking.
Sounds like me with real estate. Yeah, okay.
Oh, really? Yeah, it was the same with me. And I kept thinking, well, I think it's funny, but I mean, I would be great at being, a personal assistant, but yet I can't type 1,000 words a minute, Right. I would be good at something, but I would miss one ingredient that just wouldn't make me the person, whatever. And nothing really satisfied me. And I've lived in various countries and traveled all my life and moved and worked in different places. So I'm accustomed to the stresses and strains that my clients have come across. Where you have to make the decision to let go of something that you've had for years and that kind of thing. But I did not know until my last boss's wife was having me over to her house to help organize her children's bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, you should be a professional organizer. And I did the usual, off the cuff, yeah, fine. And she said, no, you should be. And she handed me a magazine, and in the magazine was an article by a professional organizer. And I went, really? And that night I looked up the Professional Organizers Association of Canada in Canada, and lo and behold, it really truly existed. I signed up, and within a week I was running my own business.
Wow.
So I plunged in with great feet, 2 feet at the same time to really do that, because it's something that encompasses all my talents. And I was satisfied and happy doing it because, I help people and I help their lives improve, but it satisfies me with all my different aspects without having to type 1,000.
Right.
Yeah.
I totally hear you. Totally.
Yeah.
So do you have like a niche market that you work with?
Yes. It's funny. It's over the years, it's just created itself. I work with business women, busy business women, usually sort of age 30 to 40 on up.
Okay.
And it's one of those things that, yes, I have, worked with men, but women seem to be more naturally inclined to ask for help when they know that they're drowning in clutter and, with their professional lives and that sort of stuff.
Okay, perfect, perfect. So who would be the best person to contact you? Like, what might they be thinking or feeling
Well,
that
it's okay. Sorry to cut you off,
I,
but it's like my book. Stress and overwhelm are the two key factors. In fact, the statistics say that 8 out of 10 Canadians are feeling overwhelmed, that they have too much stuff, they don't feel they have enough time. So the one thing I've discovered over the years, because I've spent 14 years uncluttering people's spaces, but also uncluttering their lives, because I've become more and more of a coach. And one of the things that are common amongst everybody is that we are all overwhelmed in some area of our lives in some degree. And it's tough because when, for some people, it's everything in their life is overwhelming. And for others, it's just one section.
right.
So what can they do about it? The first and foremost thing is to start to unclutter their mind. There's various tips and suggestions that I can do. There's something that I call POP, which is it's a simple method of putting everything back that you have taken out from somewhere.
Okay.
Just the simplicity of that. Also, if in my book, I talk about 4 simple words that can change their life, and something called a golden timer. And those are methods that I've developed over the years that have really helped my clients. And they're very, very simple to apply. But when you are overwhelmed, it's very, very difficult to focus. So you desperately kind of grab onto whatever you can find. You look at the local, latest blog in the hope that that's going to be the answer that you're looking for. But I always dial it back. It's always the basics that are missing. The first thing I would suggest if you're starting to feel overwhelmed is stop and write down a list of all the things that you have not done, all your incomplete cycles of action, because that is the single most overwhelming, invisible thing that people have. They don't realize that that is what's creating their stress and their overwhelm. And then gradually, nibble, you take that down to nothing. But if you don't complete those cycles, you're going to remain foggy-minded, hard to focus, all that sort of stuff.
Totally. So, like, I know your mind can be cluttered with like too many tasks that you have to do or whatnot. But your mind can also be cluttered from the stuff that's in your house, right?
Big time.
Like,
Yes.
if you're hoarding, or if you're a pack rat, or if you're just collecting stuff, or you have papers all over the place, or things aren't put away, that can cause you some mental anguish as well. And people don't even realize that, right?
Yeah, they don't. I mean, after, time, it never ceased to amaze me, actually. No matter how many times I uncluttered somebody's house, the effect was the same. Very often they burst into tears because it was such a relief. And they went, oh my God, I'm getting my life back. But they can start to think clearer. And there is a direct correlation between physical space that's all cluttered affecting your mental space that remains cluttered. And it's sort of like, which came first, chicken or the egg? Well, quite frankly, yes, both, because one directly affects the other. If you have a cluttered mind, you start to have cluttered spaces, and reverse. So I always say, you need to, I've been uncluttering people's minds for years, but I've been uncluttering people's spaces for years. So now it's the mind that I feel is the first thing that we really need to help, clear out.
Absolutely. So can you tell us a little bit about the options of how people can work with you?
Yeah, I mean, I do one-on-one coaching. Nowadays, it's all on Skype or Zoom.
Right.
When things clear up again, I can go to people's houses and do one-on-one coaching. And it's the advice that I give and the guidance that I give is something that one can apply both in your professional and your personal life, because particularly women entrepreneurs, we have to, run the houses and the business and everything else. So, it's very important to me that whatever you learn is a stable thing that you can go to all the time. And I try as much as possible to find out what their particular goal is, or if they're able to focus on the goal at this point,
Right.
and where to start from there.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Perfect. Do you have any tips and suggestions for people?
Yeah.
It can be personal or professional. Doesn't matter. Whatever's.
Well, one of the things I talk about is keep it simple. And that is the sort of crux of everything. Because if your foundation of you as a person is unstable, then so is your business. So it all starts with you. And so you need to take, first of all, personal time. Absolutely. I mean, we women are particularly naughty at giving ourselves the right to take time, downtime.
Yes.
And I always say, put this as in part of your business plan,
Right.
That you take a specific time for yourself to re-energize. Also, when I'm speaking, because I'm a public speaker, when I'm speaking to an audience, very often I ask them to put their hands up as to who knows what makes them feel happy, re-energizes them, and that sort of stuff. I know personally for me, put me out in the country with some water and some animals, and I'm good. I'm re-energized. For others, it's, going to the downtown spa for the day. But out of 100 people, maybe 15 to 20 actually know what makes them feel happy.
Right.
So I would say spend some time working out what brings a smile to your face, what makes you feel good, and concentrate on that. Because that's key. Because if you are not okay, nothing else will be. Your relationships, your business, your work, personal life. So
I agree.
And don't take too much of a big bite of something. If you want to work on a backlog of something that you've got, put what I call the golden timer on. And the golden timer is any phone that you have, or a kitchen timer, and put that on for like 10 minutes. Please don't put it on for an hour. And then when that alarm goes, you work on that piece or that thing exclusively for those 10 minutes. When the timer goes off, please walk away. Do not get all energized and want to continue. No, take a break. You can come back at it later. Give yourself the win of having actually completed something.
Right.
Part of something, of that thing that you may or not have touched for months or years. So, yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. And I know it's important to you to give back to society too. Can you tell us a little bit of what you've done?
Well, I mean, I've been a grassroots community organizer. I've started an international arts festival in Los Angeles when I was living there. That's ongoing to this day, and a artists group in Vancouver as well as in Toronto, because I'm a visual artist as well, animal artist. And I've worked as a volunteer for the Professional Organizers Association in Toronto, because the Toronto chapter is the oldest chapter in Toronto, in Canada. And I ended up being on the board, and then the executive, vice chair, past chair, and all that sort of stuff. So I spent a good 6 to 8 years on the board. And that's all volunteer as well. And we go out once a year and we help organizations, nonprofit organizations, to help get themselves organized, or, women's shelters, how to organize their stuff. So yeah, it's quite an interesting group of sort of 98% women in the Professional Organizers Association.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that's awesome. And thank you for giving back, because it's really important for us to do that. And there's so many different ways to do it. So I love hearing, the different ways that people are involved. So thank you.
You're welcome.
People get in touch with you?
Wow. Well, they can go to my website, which is gettingoutfromunderbook.com. And actually, they can do that, or they can go directly to Jeannette at gettingoutfromunderbook.com. My name is never spelled correctly, so.
Well, we'll have it on this page, so they'll know how to spell it.
Yes, people go, oh, but I misspelled it. And also, if they want to get, download POP, which is a little poster that I produced to help them with getting organized mentally and physically, they can just go onto the website and find out more about it there, and write a little note to me, and I will send it directly to them. And also, if they want to know when my book is released, then they can just sign up at that website as well.
Okay, perfect. Thank
I'm
you.
available for questions anytime.
So please reach out to Jeannette if you have any questions about, decluttering, or you're overwhelmed or stressed, or just want some, suggestions or direction. I know Jeannette is such a sweetheart, and she'd be more than happy to help you. So please reach out to her. And thank you so much, Jeannette, for sharing with us today.
Thanks. You are totally welcome. It's been fun.
Thank you, honey.
Okay.
Thank you for listening to this interview hosted by Randy Goodman. We hope you will take action and connect with the incredible business people and leaders in our community. And remember, Randy is always here to answer any questions you have regarding your real estate needs. Be sure to register on the website and stay up to date on what's happening in your area at parkbench.com/millpond.